Hey guys, welcome back to your favorite gun channel. This is Matt with Minton State Firearms, and today we have a good video for you. We're going to be talking about concealed carry and all things that come with it. We're going to talk about the gear that comes with it, the responsibility that comes with it, holsters, what type of firearm, everything. So if you landed on this video, you probably either already concealed carry or have thought about making the responsible decision to concealed carry. In doing so, you take a lot of responsibility upon yourself, knowing that you will have to be the one to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones, and to protect other people in the event that you may need a firearm to defend people. So what we're going to talk about today is the different types of holsters, the different types of guns that people usually concealed carry, and the gear that'll make concealed carry more effective. Now, concealed carry is inherently uncomfortable. You're never going to find a piece of equipment that's going to be like, man, I feel like I have a pillow in my pants or a pillow on my waist. That's not going to happen. But what can happen, if you buy quality gear, it can be comfortable, and you will do it more often, which will make you more efficient at it and more effective at it. So we're going to talk about a couple of those topics today. So what we have today, we're going to discuss a few different types of holsters and the types of firearms that people usually carry in those holsters. And when you're looking for holsters for concealed carry, you usually come across the main three topics are AIWB, OWB, and IWB. What that stands for is outside the waistband, inside the waistband, and appendix inside the waistband. Now there's other different types of holsters too. You can find ankle holsters, you find belly band holsters, you can find clothes with holsters in them, purses with holsters in them, which by the way are a terrible idea. Most of the time, if you carry a firearm in a purse, the assailant, the first thing he's going after is the purse, and your firearm and your only means of defense will usually be gone, but that's for a different time and different place. So now those three different types of holsters are the most popular ones. Depending on what you're comfortable with is what you're going to choose, but I do think there is one clear winner as far as what it comes to when concealed carrying. In my personal opinion, that's appendix inside the waistband, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And what kind of rig that I'm going to show you that I like to run for an appendix inside the waistband rig is something like this here. This is a Tier 1 concealed Axis Elite. This is a whole appendix rig with a Glock 48. This is a single stack 10-round magazine with an extra magazine with it. You have the concealment claw to kind of keep everything in a straight line here. You got your two belt clips held together by military grade paracord. And then you have your concealment ridge here on the magazine to make it easier to conceal everything. And this whole rig sits right out in front of you here. That's one of the reasons why I prefer appendix carry, is you have everything right in front of you, and your body mobility and everything, your mechanics are right in front of you. You don't have to turn anything. You don't have to do anything. You can just delete the garment and you have a draw right here. So as you can see, I'm wearing an appendix rig right now. What this one is, this is also a Tier 1 concealed holster. This is a Tier 1 Axis Slim. Pretty much the same thing as that one. It's just got a couple different options here. This one's got a different type of claw on it. The screw for the retention for the magazine sits outside rather than inside. There's no concealment ridge on this one. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. This is a Glock 26 Gen 5 with an extended magazine on it. This one has an extension on it too. So both of these, this is actually a 13+1 magazine. This is going to be a 12+1 magazine. And that's another one of my appendix rigs. Like I said, my favorite way to carry. The only way I can comfortably do it. But there are other options if that's not for you. So you have another setup that's just like this. This is a Glock 43 with a... This is actually a cheap $30 holster, I believe it was, off Amazon. But in a pinch, if you need a holster today or tomorrow, most of the good holster companies have a pretty long lead time. This one, the only reason I purchased this holster is because I had a training class on a Saturday, and it was on a Thursday when I needed this holster, so I ordered it from Amazon. It came in 2 days. I have it. It works. There's not a lot of retention. The firearm can slip in and easy out. That can be adjusted. But I don't ever use this holster anymore, so I don't worry about it. This one just kind of sits tucked away. This is a Glock 43, another extended magazine on there. You'll kind of see that as as a thing that I like to do. I like to give myself as much ammo as I possibly can. But this one, so if you're a right-handed shooter, you're usually going to carry from 12 o'clock, which is your front, to 6 o'clock, which is directly in the back. Left-handed, your strong side is going to be from 6 o'clock on your left side to 12 o'clock. And so this one, you can run that anywhere on your strong side, and you know that if you're carrying inside the waistband, this holster could work for you. This is going to go, like I said, inside the pants. Anywhere on your strong side, you can carry it. Just doesn't really work for me. I like to carry Appendix, like I said. And then another holster which doesn't have a firearm in it is an outside the waistband holster. This one goes on your strong side as well. Carries it outside the waistband. A lot harder to conceal that way. Some people can. Usually you have to change up the type of clothing that you wear. I don't like to have to wear special clothing because I want to carry a different way. I carry up front here, and that's what's comfortable for me. I can wear the same stuff I wear every other day, and I don't have to worry about printing. I don't have to worry about my gun moving around. I don't have to worry about when I reach up at the store, having my shirt come up over my gun, making people uncomfortable. I know it's legal, but it does make people uncomfortable. I prefer the element of surprise, not showing people that I have a firearm on me. And Appendix, I think, is the best way to do that. Now, not only are your holsters important, but your gear is important as well. You want a nice belt. I've done a review on this belt. This is the Next Belt ratcheting belt system. And you'll notice that the buckle is over here. And the reason for that is that my whole Appendix rig sits out in front here. The buckle doesn't get in the way if I move it over here. You don't see it when my shirt's down. You don't see my holster when my shirt's down. But that's a very important part of the whole setup, is having a good, solid, rigid belt. Also wearing a nice pair of pants that's got a little bit of a give to them. You remember, you got to stick the whole thickness of whatever gun that you're carrying inside your pant line, which, like I said, is inherently uncomfortable. But with good gear, you can make it more comfortable. You can make it as comfortable as possible, and you're going to carry more. And that's our number one goal. So a good belt, a nice pair of pants that have a little bit of give to them, but not too much. One thing that nobody ever really talks about too is actually wearing a good pair of an undergarment, because if you're wearing something loose, something worn out, something baggy, when you go to put your holster on, it's going to push your underwear down. You don't want that. Another problem with that people talk about with Appendix Carry is where your firearm is pointing. I'm not going to get into detail about what I mean. You can figure it out. But if you're worried about accidentally, or should I say negligently, pulling the trigger while dealing with your firearm, you probably shouldn't be concealed carrying anyway, and you should probably figure out different training steps and processes before you're worried about pulling the trigger negligently on your own firearm and shooting somewhere on your body that you don't want, which would be anywhere on your body. You don't want to shoot anywhere on your body. But that's a very important rule that I have. If you think that that is a viable option, that you're going to injure yourself or someone else because you don't know how to properly handle a firearm, I prefer you don't carry. Leave it to the more experienced people. Get yourself some training before actually carrying a firearm, and save us all a little bit of trouble. Now, another big reason why I carry Appendix in the front is because if you get into something hand to hand with somebody, and you're in front, you got your hands in front of you, you got your weight leaned forward, your shirt still covers your whole firearm. It covers everything that you need it to cover. When you lean forward, especially if there's more than one attacker, if you're engaged with somebody and you have your gun here, remember, not everything's a gunfight. You can't use your gun just because somebody's beating on you. You're going to end up in prison that way. But if you're one-to-one, someone wants to throw hands, you got to be ready to do that. And if there's another person that's going to attack you standing off to the side, that might be a life or death situation. But if you're engaged with somebody, your hands are forward, your body's forward, your weight's forward, your shirt's still covering your firearm 100%, that person's not going to be reaching down in your waistline. But if you have a firearm out here, out on the outside of your waistband, or even on the inside of your waistband out here, it's going to protrude when you reach forward, and somebody's going to see it. The person you're engaged with could see it and start reaching for it. The person that you are not engaged with, but that is also an assailant, could see it. He could reach for it, and then it's a bad day. Well, if you're taking on two people, they have weapons, you're engaged with somebody, what you can do is you can step back, create distance, and then you have the element of surprise because nobody knew that you had a firearm here. You couldn't see it, And that's one of the most important parts of the actual concealed carry process, is the element of surprise. We always want that. So a lot of people wonder about sitting down in your vehicle while concealed carrying appendix, or bending over, or any of those things. They say it's uncomfortable. It's really not. There's times where I wear my gun all day long. I come home, sit down on the couch, I still have it on. It doesn't bother me. What you have to make sure of is that you have adjustable ride height on all your holsters here. You have adjustments here. This is a Tier 1 concealed holster. You're going to see me talk about Tier 1 concealed holsters a lot. I think they make the best holsters on the market by far. I have 6 or 7 of them. I have 2 more on the way. I'm going to do a video when I get those on unboxing. Those are 2 outside the waistband holsters. I don't currently have any Tier 1 concealed outside the waistband holsters. Those are for range training only. I'm not going to carry outside the waistband in any other situation. But you have adjustments here to raise, lower your ride height of your holster, so where it sits on your person, up or down. You can put a little bit of a cant on it if you want it to move one way or the other. What you don't want is your holster to block your body's natural pivot point. So you want to still be able to move your legs up and down. You want to still be able to bend over. I can wear my gun, I can sit down, I can lean forward, I can get in and out of my truck. But most importantly, when I'm sitting in my truck, where my seatbelt rides goes right over my holster. I take my shirt out of my seatbelt when I sit in my truck, and that sits loose. That way, if I'm sitting in the truck and I have to delete my garment to get my firearm, even when I'm sitting down, I can still get it, and I can still cover any of the area I need to while sitting down. So that's why I stress proper equipment. People say that Tier 1 concealed holsters or any of the really good quality holsters are too expensive. But I say buy once, cry once. You always want to buy good gear when it comes to something that your life depends on. Save a little bit of extra money. Don't go out and buy fast food one night a week. Put that away. And at the end of the month, you'll be surprised how much money you have saved up to buy quality gear, a quality belt, a quality pair of jeans, quality holsters. That's all important. If you're going to concealed carry, be serious about it. You know, take pride in it. Have the protector attitude. And that's all going to come together and make concealed carry a little bit easier for you. If you have any questions about any of the products I talked about today, or any suggestions on how I think you should carry, how I can help you make your carry setup a little more comfortable, what kind of gun I think you should carry, where to get the holsters, where to get the belts, what kind of pants I recommend, go ahead and shoot me a message. That's all I have for today. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to YouTube. At 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a big giveaway. Tag your friends. I know they want to see it too. Shoot me a message if you have any questions about any of the gear today. And make sure to carry, make sure to be safe. And thanks for watching. Have a good night.